Large cat endemic to central Iran and Africa, the cheetah has been reintroduced to India. Being the fastest land animal, it has various adaptations for speed, including a light frame, long, slender legs, and a long tail. It is estimated that it can run at speeds of 80 to 128 kilometers per hour, with the fastest reliably reported speeds being 93 and 98 kilometers per hour. The usual shoulder height is between 67 and 94 centimeters, and the length of the head and body is between 1.1 and 1.5 m. Adults range in weight from 21 to 72 kilograms. It has a small, rounded head with a short snout and facial stripes that resemble black tears. The normal color of the coat is tawny to creamy white or pale buff, and the majority of the dots are uniformly spaced solid black. Females with their cubs, male coalitions, and lone males make up the three main social groups that the cheetah inhabits. Males are more sedentary and instead create considerably smaller territories in regions with plenty of prey and access to females, whilst females lead a nomadic life seeking for prey in expansive home ranges. Cheetah activity peaks at dawn and dusk but is constant throughout the day. It prefers to eat medium-sized ungulates like impala, springbok, and Thompson's gazelles. It feeds primarily on small to medium-sized prey that weighs under 40 kilograms. The cheetah normally stalks its victim from a distance of 60 to 70 meters, charges at it, trips it up in the course of the chase, and then bites its throat to suffocate it. It gives birth all year long. A litter of normally 3 or 4 cubs is born after a nearly 3-month gestation period. Cheetah cubs are extremely susceptible to being eaten by other large animals like lions and hyenas. By the time they are 4 months old and 20 months old, they have completed weaning. The Serengeti savannas, the Sahara's arid mountain ranges, and Iran's steep desert terrain are just a few of the diverse habitats where cheetahs can be found. Threats to the cheetah include habitat degradation, conflicts with people, poaching, and a high sensitivity to disease. The cheetah, whose historical range included the majority of sub-Saharan Africa, the Middle East, and central India, is now mostly found in small, dispersed populations in central Iran, southern, eastern, and northwestern Africa, as well as North India. The IUCN Red List classifies the cheetah as vulnerable, with an estimated 7,100 individuals in the wild worldwide as of 2016. Cheetahs have been domesticated and trained to hunt ungulates in the past. They have been widely portrayed in animation, advertising, literature, and the arts. The jaguarundi and the cougar, Puma concolor, are the cheetah's closest cousins, Herpaliurus jaguarundi. These three species work together to make up the Puma lineage, one of the 8 subgroups of living felids. The Puma lineage separated from the others 6.7 million years ago. A clade of smaller Old World cats, including the genera Felis, Odocolobus, and Prionellurus, makes up the sister group to the Puma lineage. The cheetah is a light-colored, spotted cat with a deep chest, long, thin legs, and a long tail. It also has a small, rounded head, a short snout, black facial stripes that resemble tears, and a deep chest. Its sleek, canine-like appearance is well adapted for speed and stands in stark contrast to the Panthera genus's stocky morphology. Cheetahs normally measure between 67 and 94 centimeters at the shoulder and between 1.1 and 1.5 m in length from head to tail. Adult weight normally ranges from 21 to 72 kilograms, depending on age, health, locality, sex, and subspecies. While cubs born in the wild typically weigh between 150 and 300 g at birth, those born in captivity are typically bigger and weigh closer to 500 g. Although not to the same degree as other large cats, cheetahs exhibit sexual dimorphism, with males being heavier and bigger than females. Studies on physical differences between the subspecies have mostly diverged. The normal color of the coat is tawny to creamy white or light buff, darker in the mid-back portion. The abdomen, underparts of the legs, and throat are all white and unmarked. Around 2,000 uniformly distributed, oval or round, solid black dots, each measuring roughly 3 to 5 centimeters, cover the remainder of the body. Every cheetah has a distinctive pattern of spots that can be used to recognize specific animals. The coat also has other weak, erratic black scars in addition to the obvious patches. The fur on newborn cubs has an illegible spot pattern, giving them a gloomy look. They are virtually black on the bottom and pale white above. The majority of the hair is short and frequently coarse, but the chest and belly are coated with delicate fur. It has been said that the fur of king cheetahs is silky. At least 8 cm of the neck and shoulders are covered in a short, rough mane, which is more pronounced in males. In young animals, the mane first appears as a long, loose cape of blue to gray hair. Rarely seen melancholic cheetahs have been discovered in Zambia and Zimbabwe. Sclater described 2 South African individuals that were largely albino in 1877 to 1878. The leopard and cheetah appear to be very similar, but the leopard has rosettes in place of spots and doesn't have tear streaks. The cheetah is also a tiny bit taller than the leopard. Though physically similar to the cheetah, the serval is much smaller, has a shorter tail, and its spots merge to form stripes on its back. In terms of appearance and behavior, the cheetah appears to have diverged from canids. It exhibits canine-like traits including a relatively big snout, long legs, a deep chest, robust paw pads, and blunt, semi-retractable claws. The greyhound and the cheetah both have similar morphologies and the capacity to accelerate to great speeds more quickly than other mammals, while the cheetah can reach higher top speeds. Compared to the other large cats, the head is smaller and more rounded. Saharan cheetahs have faces that resemble those of dogs. Tawny at the base and on the borders with black patches on the back, the ears are small, short, and rounded. The pupils of the hyacinth eyes are rounded. The whiskers are fine and unnoticeable, though shorter and fewer than those of other felids. The distinct cheetah tear streaks, also known as malar stripes, start at the corners of the eyes and extend down the nose to the mouth. Although the cheetah hunts primarily during the day, it is unclear what function these streaks provide. They may shield the eyes from the sun's glare, or they may be utilized to define facial expressions. The 60 to 80 centimeters long, extremely thick, and bushy white tail has a tuft at the end. Spots dominate the first 2/3 of the tail, but the latter third is distinguished by 4 to 6 dark rings or stripes. Cheetahs live in a variety of ecosystems and don't seem to be as picky about their habitats as other felids. They favor places with more readily available prey, clear skies, and little possibility of coming into larger predators. They are hardly ever found in tropical forests. There have been reports of cheetahs at 4,000 m or higher heights. Given that the cheetah must stalk and chase its prey over considerable distances, an open location with some cover, such as dispersed bushes, is probably optimal. Additionally, it lessens the possibility of running across larger carnivores. The cheetah tends to be found in lower densities than the other big cats, ranging between 0.3 and 3.0 adults per 100 square kilometers. These numbers are 10 to 30% lower than those for leopards and lions. Cheetahs are primarily found in savannas like the Kalahari and Serengeti in eastern and southern Africa. Cheetahs live in dry mountain ranges and valleys in central, northern, and western Africa. In the severe environment of the Sahara, cheetahs prefer high mountains because they receive more precipitation than the nearby desert. Antelopes may live in these highlands thanks to the vegetation and water resources. Iranian cheetahs live on mountainous desert terrain at altitudes of up to 2,000 to 3,000 m, where annual precipitation is often less than 100 millimeters. The predominant vegetation in these regions is made up of sparsely spaced bushes that are less than 1 m tall. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.